2019 was a banner year for all of us here at the World Fighting Showcase. Big events from all over Tennessee, West Virginia. We even showed up in North Carolina a couple of times throughout the year. From title changes, grudge matches, and even some really shocking, iconic moments. We have a lot to really be proud of here at the WFS from the entire year of 2019. I'm Dallas Danger, and today what we're going to do is we're going to count down the 10 top moments and matches from 2019 in the World Fighting Showcase. Before we get started, be sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel here for all the great updates as we head into 2020 and beyond here in the World Fighting Showcase. Now, without further ado, let's get this countdown started. Number 10 sees an exciting debut from young Chris Magnus as he took on the incredible Huck, Will Huckabee, back in November at Gold Rush.
Hooks the leg, first cover of the contest. A quick kick out by Chris Magnus, a lot of heart. That's very clear when it comes to Chris Magnus here and what is his debut in the World Fighting Showcase here at Gold Rush. Irish whip by Huck. Nice reversal by Magnus. Takes down Huck with the stunner. Good positioning, lateral press. Very near fall. Magnus unable to hook the legs. Could be the only thing that it kept this upset from happening. Off the ropes now. Caught by Huckabee and just tossed, but he lands on his feet, does Magnus, before eating the clothesline from Huckabee, who crawls over, hooks the outside leg, and gets the victory over Chris Magnus.
Number 9 was a WFS television title match from WFS Mega Pro in Marmet, West Virginia, that saw the Ultimate Athlete, David Anthony, defend against Mr. DDT, Bruce Gray, in one of 2019's classic matches.
Yeah, he's got a game plan, and he's sticking to it.
Couple of elbows now from Bruce Gray, trying to keep David Anthony down. Nice jumping leg drop there. Rolls through and gets another 2 count. David Anthony is on the wrong side of town. He's in dire straits right now, JR.
Yeah, he needs to get himself back together right now. This is where David Anthony usually steps in and does what he's supposed to do. And if he don't do it quick, he's going to be in bad shape.
He missed the right hand, and just like that, he's right back down to the mat. Bruce Gray
talking to him in his ear while he had him down. More mind games.
Very impressive here. This stage of the contest is the challenger. Confident, carried himself out to the ring with a swagger, almost knowing in his own mind that he was going to walk out as the new champion. And this is uncharacteristic. Bruce Gray going to the top rope. And it bit him right in the gut, right hand by David Anthony, and the champ is firing up. Huge clothesline. Takes Bruce Gray down. Gray catches the leg, but a roll through by David Anthony, and he is right back in the driver's seat here. Lazy boy is what he calls that. Knees to the back.
That was devastating.
Gets to the cover.
Oh.
Very near fall. David Anthony so close to retaining the title here.
Bruce Gray showing his grit. I cannot believe he kicked out of that. That is amazing.
Now David Anthony seemingly almost wondering what to do next here. Wondering what it's going to take to put away a competitor like Bruce Gray. And it looks like, yeah, we're going to see the Ultimate Athlete go to the top rope. Again, not something he does very often either. Gray meets him there.
Gray, when he played with the crowd earlier, that's where he lost his momentum. That hurt him. And if he goes on to lose this match, that's what he can look at. He don't need to play with the crowd. He needs to work his man, you know?
Bruce Gray has the Ultimate Athlete and hits him with that superplex. Awkward fall for both competitors, but Gray is in position for the cover and very, very nearly got enough to win the title from David Anthony.
Wow, that was an eyelash, Dallas. We were that close to seeing a new WFS television champion. He's on it. He's on it. He's got him hurt.
But he's got to stay on the offensive if he wants to get the victory. Both men showing wear and tear. This has been a relatively back and forth affair, exchanging blows.
And this has been non-stop back and forth action. One man has the advantage, and then it's right back to the next. This is an amazing match. These guys are really going at it right now.
This is what the WFS is all about. Great competition. Athletic contest inside the ring. Off of the second rope with the bulldog headlock goes Bruce Gray. Could he be setting up? Nice side kick. Dazes the champion.
He might be out, Dallas. He might be out right now.
And Bruce Gray's got to get all of his body weight over. Takes him a while to do that, but he does. Lateral press. The legs were left free, but very, very smart is Bruce Gray.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why he's the ultimate athlete. You have to beat this man within an inch of his life to take that title away from him, and he's showing that right now.
Bruce Gray stretching the champion now, working on a lot of torque on that shoulder there of the champion. David Anthony leans back, and again a very near fall. Both men have had their opportunities here.
There we go, David Anthony going after a limb.
And the finger breaker, a signature of David Anthony.
Wow.
Catches Bruce Gray.
Cannot imagine the pain he's in with that hand. That is incredible.
Now up into the fireman's carry, but Bruce Gray immediately trying to fight his way out. Great show of strength by David Anthony. And oh, Bruce Gray almost had him.
Could not do it. The hand comes into play. And he's got him again. Oh.
Very near fall there.
Wow. Back and forth, Dallas.
David Anthony again with the shoulders down, and he is still the WFS television champion.
And that's what makes him dangerous. He comes out of nowhere with that little cradle. That's exactly how he won last month. Cradled him up. It works for him. Still your television champ, David Anthony.
Number 8 was one of the most heated exchanges from all year long as Murphy Costigan defended the CJ's Bar title in CJ's Bar at Holiday Havoc against sensational Wayne Atkins, who had to forfeit the title to Costigan the month before.
Is to take out the legs of Wayne Atkins, allowing him to slow down the pace, ground the challenger. Feels almost wrong to call Wayne Atkins the challenger for the CJ's Bar title, but that is the situation that we find ourselves in as Wayne Atkins fights once again out of a Murphy Costigan hold. Can Wayne get to his feet and take advantage of this opening? Costigan has used the ropes to get his balance back, and he'll go right back to Atkins, but Wayne returns fire with those right hands. Once again, Costigan follows him off the ropes. Wayne ducks under, though. Great ring awareness, and he is unloading on the CJ's Bar champion. Off the ropes now. Wayne gets a little bit of height on that. Back elbow. Takes down Costigan. Very wise of Murphy to roll off of his shoulders there. That's enough to keep Wayne Atkins from winning our main event here and regaining the CJ's Bar title, at least for now. Wayne back to his feet, but hobbled by all the damage done to that left knee. Off the ropes, but Wayne's got a little bit left in the right. Nice kick there. Once again, takes down Costigan. Lateral press. Wayne Atkins fails to hook the leg. And Costigan gets it onto the bottom rope. Now, hang on just a second. Costigan reaching under the ring. That's where he put whatever that is that he's now loading up into that knee pad. Unbeknownst to Wayne Atkins, Costigan catches the kick and unloads the knee. No pun intended.
Number 7 was one of the most wild contests of the entire year, from Lethal Limits in July, as two legends of professional wrestling, Fantastic Bobby Fulton and the franchise Shane Douglas, brawled all over Marmet, West Virginia.
Well, the verbal exchange between Shane Douglas and Bobby Fulton is over. And this Bunkhouse Rules match is underway. Two legends of the ring squaring off here in the quarterfinals of this tournament. Exchanging right hands, and Bobby Fulton firing up right away in the corner. Snap there. Now using that chain that he brought to the ring with him to choke Shane Douglas. Nothing the referee can do in this situation. Anything goes. Head of Shane Douglas just bouncing off the apron, and he lands in the lap of one of the fans in the front row here in Marmet. This one's getting out of hand in a hurry. They're headed for the door. They're going to fight out into the streets of Marmet. Out in the front of the building, duking it out, Bobby Fulton and Shane Douglas. Douglas fires a few rights and slams Bobby Fulton head first into that brick on the side of the Marmet Recreation Center. Great work by our camera crew to stay with the action here in Marmet. As Fulton and Douglas find their way back to ringside, and Shane Douglas continues the assault on Fantastic Bobby Fulton. Douglas choking out Bobby Fulton there. Now what's he got in mind? Douglas grabbing that trash can from it gives time for Bobby Fulton to recover, and he takes down Shane Douglas on the outside. Cover on a 2 for Bobby Fulton. He thought it was 3, and the fans here in Marmet certainly wanted it to be. As the bedlam continues here, Bunkhouse Rules again. That means anything goes. These two legends can fight anywhere in the building, and as they've already proven, outside as well. Shane Douglas might be out here. Referee checks, and Douglas still conscious, so he's still in this match. Douglas goes to the eyes of Fulton, and that will allow Shane Douglas to go back on the offensive, but not for long. Fulton firing up behind those right hands. Now Douglas with a few of his own. Takes control. Bobby Fulton blocks him though and slams him head first on the apron. Over and over. And Douglas is stunned and he goes down on the outside of the ring. Fulton has him in a precarious spot here. Bobby Fulton locks in the figure 4 on the outside floor. If Shane Douglas submits here, Bobby Fulton will advance in the tournament. Douglas's shoulders are down, and that's a 2 count for Bobby Fulton. I don't think Douglas realized right away that his shoulders were on the floor. Bobby Fulton's going after that ladder, driving it into the midsection of Shane Douglas before just throwing it at the franchise. What a violent display from 2 of the very best here in Marmet at Lethal Limits. Once again, the chairs in the front row coming into play. Shane Douglas goes under the ring and finds a crutch. Drives it down on the throat of Bobby Fulton. Shoulders are down. Referee will have to count. Fulton able to get a shoulder up here. Shane Douglas still has that crutch and slams it across the back of Bobby Fulton. The ever-confident Shane Douglas admiring his handiwork here as we go back inside the ring. Bobby Fulton doing everything he can to try and get to his feet. Shane Douglas with a knockout blow though, lateral press. And Shane Douglas will get the victory here in the Bunkhouse Rules match.
Number 6 was an absolutely heinous act as the troublemaker Brian Logan ensured he would keep the Evolution heavyweight title after this attack on Jeff Storm at September Showdown.
And the champion immediately goes to the attack, laying the boots to Jeff Storm. Right hand takes down Storm. Aggressive offense from the Evolution heavyweight champion to start things off. Into the corner, face first into the top turnbuckle goes Jeff Storm, but Storm blocks the right and he's going to get in on the fun too. Landing a series of rights himself, and both men go down. Logan immediately gets to the ropes and gets up to one knee. Storm is a little slower to get up. By the time he does, Logan back on the attack, going to the eyes, the face of the challenger. Now in the corner, Brian Logan continues to go on the attack, but not for long. Jeff Storm, he knows what's at stake. He knows what it takes to be Evolution heavyweight champion. Whips Brian Logan from pillar to post. Now the challenger will go to work. Brian Logan dumping Jeff Storm to the outside. Very reminiscent of that #1 contenders match last month. But Logan will not be content to take a count-out win here. What's he doing here? Reaching for something under the ring. Referee warning him of disqualification. Oh my goodness. That's going to be the end of the match. Looks perhaps like a wrench in the hand of Brian Logan. And he is content to lose the match by disqualification.
Brian, come on. Match is over. You done got yourself disqualified. Come on.
My goodness.
I'll tell you when it's in that.
No, that's enough.
No, Didi, just
Brian, come on now.
Ever touch me? Ever. No, I will stop you.
You know how he is. He's going to get us kicked out of the show. You know how he is. You know how Logan is. Damn it, Logan. You know how he is.
Number 5 sees Jeff Storm finally get his revenge and the Evolution title at Gold Rush against the troublemaker, Brian Logan.
to compete after the brutal attack by the Evolution champion, the troublemaker Brian Logan, 2 months ago in this very building. Yes, the championship is up for grabs, but folks, this is about so much more than that. It's about pride. It's about revenge for Jeff Storm. Brian Logan not only attacking Storm, but putting his hands on, hey, hang on, and once again, he's going after our ring announcer, Didi, who, as many of you know, is married to Jeff Storm, and Storm goes right after Brian Logan. And these two men are going to fight all over the building here in Kingsport. I don't think there's one person here in attendance or watching at home that can blame Jeff Storm for going right after the troublemaker Brian Logan. Fists of Fury in the corner now. Jeff Storm just brutalizing Brian Logan. And once again, who could blame him at this point? Head into the turnbuckle. Not once, not twice, 3 times. Storm unloads and goes all the way around 4th turnbuckle, and he's not done. Logan's head is like a ping pong ball off of that turnbuckle pad. Storm could go for the cover here, I'm sure, but he is not done. Headbutt takes down Brian Logan. Storm just abusing the Evolution heavyweight champion on the mat. And wipes Brian Logan's blood across his face as a badge of honor almost. Logan's going to get to his feet and fight back here. Storm ducks under the right and lands one of his own. Every one of those right hands fueled by retribution, and now Storm biting the open wound on the forehead of Brian Logan. Storm continues the attack. He's living up to his promise. This is a fight, but Brian Logan shoving Jeff Storm into senior official Carlos Stapleton. Stapleton is down, holding his midsection. And Brian Logan to the outside, could be going for that wrench. No, he's going after Dee again. Come on, Brian. Wait, Abby the waitress steps in. Referee still incapacitated. Abby hits a stunner center of the ring. Jeff Storm just looks on. Everybody wanting to get a piece of Brian Logan. Ankle lock now applied. Brian Logan is screaming. Referee finally comes to. And that's it. Jeff Storm won't break the hold, but he has forced Brian Logan to quit. Finally breaks the hold before the referee can reverse that decision. Jeff Storm is the winner and new Evolution Heavyweight Champion.
In what was dubbed as the rematch of the year, number 4 saw Murphy Costigan defend the WFS Television Championship against the Ultimate Athlete David Anthony at the WrestleCade Convention in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, back on Thanksgiving weekend.
Steel ring post. A lot of torque on that shoulder. David Anthony fights to his feet once more. Costigan not allowing any separation. Finally, David Anthony fights him off. Up to the second rope. Missile drop kick. David Anthony found an opening. Finally makes his way to the cover, hooks the leg. Very near fall. The challenger can't believe it, and wait a second. Referee turns his back. Costigan took something out of his boot, loaded it into his knee pad. And that's all it takes to put away David Anthony, still your WFS television champion, Murphy Costigan.
Number 3 goes back once again to Marmet, West Virginia, and Lethal Limits as the Ultimate Athlete David Anthony and the mysterious Golden Terror duked it out for the American Heavyweight Championship.
Backs Anthony into the corner, regaining control in the early going of this last man standing match, clubbing right across the back of the Ultimate Athlete. The Golden Terror intimidating the official, allowing his manager, the Good Doctor, to get involved here. The big foot of the Golden Terror across the throat of David Anthony, taking the wind out of the television champion. So much heart and determination in the Ultimate Athlete there, as he is not backing down from the much larger American champion, the Golden Terror. Fists of Fury in the corner by David Anthony. Vertical suplex by the Golden Terror. Takes down Anthony. Terror pressing the jugular of David Anthony down across that middle rope. And again, The Good Doctor will get involved here. David Anthony out on the apron now. Golden Tear will again suplex the Ultimate Athlete, this time back into the ring. Hammers that right into the back, across the shoulder blades of David Anthony. What a punch in the corner by the Golden Terror. Irish whip, and David Anthony just runs right into a big golden wall that is the American champion. The referee will begin his count. Again, David Anthony will have to the count of 10 to get to his feet. And the Ultimate Athlete is back to a vertical base, but at what cost? He is certainly worse for wear after that attack from the Golden Terror, who continues the flurry of offense here now. Sunset flip by David Anthony, but the Golden Terror just drops all of his weight down on the chest. And David Anthony will his way back to a vertical base. He's going over to the corner, using the ropes. And he's back to his feet, but just barely. The Terror goes right back on the attack now. Running in with the splash. And looking for a second splash and landing it. Could he be going for a third now? David Anthony out of the way, staggering, but still on his feet. Drop kick sends the Golden Terror to the outside. But the Terror does not leave his feet to go down further than one knee. David Anthony pushing the Golden Doctor out of the way, the Good Doctor out of the way, trying to get to the Golden Terror. And the Terror throws David Anthony into that steel ring post. My goodness. After all the damage that's already been done by the American champion, and he's not finished yet, driving David Anthony back first into the steel ring post. Not once, but twice. And again, just throwing the Ultimate Athlete into the steel post. Referee counting now. David Anthony in a lot of pain here.
Your winner and still WFS American Heavyweight Champion, the Golden Terror.
The size of the Golden Terror and the outside interference of the Good Doctor, too much for David Anthony on this day. Still the American Heavyweight Champion, the Golden Terror.
Number 2, CJ's Bar, Holiday Havoc, Will Huckabee, the Incredible Huck, in a rematch against Brandon Young in what was dubbed an instant classic.
With Brandon here. Excellent wrestling that you have come to expect from the WFS as Brandon Young reverses and applies the hammerlock now into his own side headlock. Huck tries to shoot him off, but Brandon Young hangs on, has it locked in. Huck again tries to use his strength, but Brandon Young so impressive here. Huckabee's feet in the ropes, that's going to break the hold. Brandon Young trying to go back on the offensive, but Huckabee is still in the ropes. He's going to take his time getting back to action here. Brandon Young respecting that. Huck luring Brandon Young into a test of strength. Brandon Young, though, one step ahead of Huck on that exchange. Huck will back Young into the corner. Huck not breaking clean that time, though. Hits the back elbow. Now the Irish whip up and over goes Brandon Young, and the pace is going to pick up, but not for long. Shoulder tackle by Huck, and he flexes as he admires his handiwork. Pace picks up once again. Leapfrog by Brandon Young and a drop kick. Stuns Huck, but doesn't quite take him down. Nice reversal there. Huckabee grabs the hair and throws Brandon Young to the mat. Now Will Huckabee's going to use the middle rope to his advantage. He's going to make the referee earn his pay here today. Using every bit of that count before clubbing the chest of Brandon Young, who's just tied up in the ring ropes. Now back into the center of the ring we go. Huckabee continuing to inflict pain. Brandon Young reaching out, looking to get to a rope. Now seeing that that's not possible from this position in the ring, he's going to have to find another way out of this hold. Turns his body around, gets to his feet, punches to the gut. Once again off the ropes, but the knee of Will Huckabee thwarting that effort. Lateral press. And seemingly out of instinct alone, Brandon Young gets the shoulder up. Huckabee can't believe it and is going to have more words with Carlos Stapleton. Face first into the top turnbuckle goes Brandon Young. What an incredible, no pun intended, knife edge chop by Will Huckabee. Forearms are now going to the face, the eyes. Taking every advantage he can is the Incredible Huck as he unloads another knife edge chop across the chest of Brandon Young. Looks for retreat and respite in the another corner. This time ducks under, and Brandon Young is fired up. But Brandon Young, once again, I mean, every time it seems like Brandon gets some momentum, Huck is there to cut him off, hooks the leg, and another near fall. You may not like the attitude of Will Huckabee here, but you've got to admire his strategy. Every time that the pace picks up, Huck slows it back down, trying to take the crowd out of it, trying to keep Brandon Young from flying too high, as it were. Another clothesline. Brandon Young has endured a lot of offense from Huck here. Young is still going to fight back. Back in the corner, out of the way is Brandon Young. Caught by Huckabee and dropped. The body of Brandon Young goes lifeless. Moonsault attempt from the second turnbuckle. Huckabee misses, but Brandon Young will connect. Hooks the leg immediately and gets a count of 2. A high risk from Huck we're not used to seeing. And that gives the separation for Brandon Young to pick up the pace, but again, as soon as he gets some momentum, spinebuster by Huckabee, and that is not quite it. Referee's hand inches away from hitting the mat for 3. Have to wonder how much Brandon Young has left in the tank here. Huckabee goes back to work. Ducked under twice off the springboard with the cutter. Both men down. Can Brandon Young get over and make the cover? Great ring awareness by Huckabee. Rolls over off of his shoulders. Both men stirring, but still down on the mat as the referee continues to count. Huck the first to a vertical base, but Brandon Young follows shortly, and we're exchanging forearm blows here. Reversal of the Irish whip by Huckabee. Brandon Young goes over the ropes out to the apron, doing everything he can to get in a better position off the ropes again. Ducks under. Nice head scissors by Brandon Young. Single leg drop kick. Backs Huckabee into the corner. Brandon Young rolls through the snap mare. Basement drop kick. Huck's shoulders are down. Brandon Young gets over on top, but not able to put all of his weight down, and that allows Huckabee to stay alive in what has been an instant classic of sorts here. Huckabee under the kick. Rolls up Brandon Young. Feet on the ropes, not again. No, this time Carlos Stapleton catches Huck. We saw in the last match Abel Grave getting a pin with feet on the ropes, and this time Huckabee tries the same, and Carlos Stapleton there to break the pinning attempt. Huck is very frustrated. Brandon Young comes to now. Right hand by Huck, and he's going to go right back to the argument. That allows Brandon Young a thrust kick and enziguri. Huckabee might be out on his feet. What a flurry of offense from Brandon Young. 1, 2, and Brandon Young with another impressive victory over Will Huckabee. Brandon Young ending 2019 on a bit of a win streak as he has his hands raised once again.
Finally, the #1 match of the year, without much question at all in the World Fighting Showcase, comes to us from Knoxville, Tennessee and CreepyCon, the moment that Murphy Costigan, the Scottish sensation, became WFS television champion with a victory over the Ultimate Athlete, David Anthony.
Costigan is going to turn the tide here, perhaps. Pace will pick up. Drop kick by David Anthony. Lands flush and sends Costigan to the outside, and he is reeling. Costigan favoring that arm and shoulder. Now David Anthony's going to go after him, but now, yeah, the Ultimate Athlete's going to give chase. He certainly has this crowd behind him. David Anthony has spent much of the weekend here at CreepyCon socializing with the attendees. Some were existing fans, but many of these people that have gathered around the ring are cheering on a young man that they have become enamored with over these last 2-3 days. David Anthony breaks the count, continues the attack on Murphy Costigan. On the outside, but pays for it. Costigan bounces the champion off of the ring post. Now Costigan breaks the count. And things are starting to get ugly here. Costigan abusing the left arm of David Anthony, goes for a cover, only gets a count of 1, but I think the damage is done. Costigan stomping the hand and the wrist. Now Costigan will manipulate the joints. Going to the face. Referee right there to make the count and break that hold. Now Murphy's going to use the middle rope for leverage. Heeds the referee's count and goes back on the attack in the corner. Right hand shots by Costigan will take down the champion. Lackadaisical cover by the challenger Costigan. Clubbing right as David Anthony is seemingly out on his feet. Scoop slam by the challenger, drops the elbow, goes into the cover, hooks the outside leg and gets a near fall, a count of 2. Costigan continuing to work on the left arm, torquing the shoulder of the Ultimate Athlete, David Anthony. Anthony gets out of it. Reversal by Costigan into the corner. David Anthony gets the boots up, shakes off the damage that has been done by Costigan, and Costigan unleashes discus forearm immediately into the cover. That could be it. Only a count of 2. Looked like maybe Costigan was going for the tights there, but before he could get a handful, David Anthony getting the shoulders up. Irish whip now by Costigan, back elbow, takes down the champion David Anthony. Double knees on that arm we've talked so much about. Another cover by Costigan. And right back to the shoulder. That Costigan bounced off of that steel ring post on the outside. David Anthony in a lot of pain, but he's not done fighting. The television title means so much to the young man known as the Ultimate Athlete. He gets to his feet, backs Costigan into the corner, but can't break the hold. Tries a second time. This time he gets it. Uses that left shoulder for a lot of leverage there. Knee lift by David Anthony. He's going to hop up to the second turnbuckle. Missile drop kick connects. Not sure that he got all of it, but for the time being, it relinquishes the hold of the challenger Murphy Costigan. Both men are down. What an incredible showing from both Costigan and David Anthony. Costigan gets to his knees and grabs David Anthony, unleashes a right, but return fire from David Anthony, and they're going to exchange blows. Both men to their feet, errant rights, and now Costigan gets a few good ones in. Uppercut by David Anthony as he's fighting back. Irish whip reversal by Costigan. Anthony ducks the clothesline and takes down the challenger with a big right hand, and now a second. A lot behind those fists of the champion. Great reversal there by David Anthony. Has Murphy Costigan seemingly right where he wants him. Costigan getting the boots up, but David Anthony drops the knees right on the back. Had to move Costigan. Costigan's weight fell on David Anthony, but he gets to a cover and gets a very near fall. You can see there, referee's hand inches from the mat, and that slight hesitation having to move all the body weight of Costigan over. That was enough to keep the challenger in this one. David Anthony in position, trying to lift up Murphy Costigan for that suplex, but not enough in the tank, and Costigan will just toss David Anthony into the corner with that reversal. Hooks the leg, 1, 2. Somehow David Anthony escapes. How much does the champion have left in the tank, though? Costigan has really hurt that left shoulder, taken away a lot of the... Hang on just a second. Schoolboy roll-up. Costigan was worried about the referee, and David Anthony gets a count of 2. Great takedown there. Finger breaker by David Anthony. Gonna try the suplex again. Gets it this time. Brain buster by the champion. Hooks the leg. 1, 2. Costigan gets the shoulder up. David Anthony not quite able to get all of his weight on that left shoulder, and Costigan sneaks it off of the mat. And now David Anthony asking the referee, not believing that that was only a count of 2. Turns his attention back to Costigan. Costigan now with the roll up. 1, 2, kick out by David Anthony. Reversal by David Anthony into the cover. Only a count of 1 that time. Small package has the leg hooked. Another 2 count by David Anthony. What's he got in mind here? Shoulders are down. Costigan able to get out of that. Costigan in the ropes this time. David Anthony throwing everything he has at the challenger, Murphy Costigan. Boot to the gut by Murphy there. Pulls down that knee pad. David Anthony out of the way. Costigan catches the leg and delivers. Cold clock with that exposed knee. Costigan says this is all. Fireman's carry. Impactful slam, hooks the inside leg, another near fall. Costigan can't believe it. This is what the World Fighting Showcase is all about. These two are laying it all on the line for the gold here in Knoxville. They have met so many times. They have thrown everything seemingly in their arsenal at one another. And we are still at a stalemate. Costigan the first to his feet. He's on the second turnbuckle. David Anthony gets up, turns around. Costigan unable to land that double axe handle. David Anthony practically a one-armed man, quite literally here. Fireman's carry drops Murphy Costigan in the back of the head on the knee. Goes for the cover. Once again, unable to get all of his weight down on Costigan's shoulders. And Murphy gets out at 2. I'm out of breath, fight fans. This has been an absolute barn burner. An instant classic, if you will, and we still are undecided. Fast approaching that 30-minute time limit. David Anthony goes out to the apron. Is he going to go to the top rope? Not something that David Anthony does very often, but Costigan is in position, missing that beautiful swanton. Costigan responds. Saito-style suplex. Into the cover, hooks the leg. And we have a new WFS television champion. After months of trying, multiple attempts.
Thanks for joining us today as we recapped all of the great moments from the World Fighting Showcase from 2019. As we get ready for another big year in 2020, be sure to follow us and like us on all of our social media outlets. And you can see all of the matches that we recapped today with highlights in their entirety on the Wrestle Rewind streaming channel at WrestleRewind.com. And we'll see you guys next year in 2020.